Most people don't realize this, but every morning, before you even stand up, you've already made the decision that shapes your entire day. Not consciously, not intentionally, but silently, in the background of your mind. It's the decision of whether you'll repeat yesterday or rise into someone stronger. And the scary part? Most days, we choose the past without even knowing it. We carry an invisible identity, an older version of ourselves, that whispers what we're allowed to do and what we're not capable of. That old identity keeps looping the same patterns, the same habits, the same doubts, until your life becomes a copy-paste of last week. But identity isn't fate. It's just a story your brain has collected, stamped, and filed away. A story you can rewrite faster than you think. Your brain watches your actions more closely than your words. One small action is louder than 100 intentions. It notices patterns. It notices evidence. It updates who you are based on what you do, not what you want. Which is why one tiny 5-minute choice can start rebuilding everything you believe about yourself. Not tomorrow, not someday, today. Because the moment you perform a small intentional action, you disrupt your old identity script and replace it with a brand new signal. I am someone who takes control. Most people wait for the feeling to come first, but emotions follow motion. Momentum follows initiation. Energy follows action. When you act, even for 5 minutes, your brain listens. And when you act again tomorrow, it believes. That's how identity rebuilds itself. Not through hype, not through motivation, but through tiny, consistent proof. Every small effort expands who you think you are. What starts as a tiny push becomes a growing wave of progress. You begin to feel capable again. Your future self, the version of you who has everything you're chasing, isn't far away. They're just on the other side of one repeated choice. You won't see dramatic results on day one, but you will feel something, a quiet spark, a private victory no one else notices. That's the beginning of self-respect. And when that self-respect rises, your brain rewires. Old beliefs lose their grip. Excuses lose their power. Resistance loses its voice. You stop fighting yourself. You stop negotiating with your comfort. You stop delaying your own life. A simple daily rhythm begins to form. A tiny step becomes a tiny streak, and a streak becomes a story you're proud to live. You start trusting yourself again. You start thinking clearly again. You start feeling in control again. Your confidence does not come from success. It comes from following through on the smallest promise you made to yourself. Each repetition strengthens the chain. Each action adds weight to your identity. Each day compounds the effort. And without forcing it, your life begins aligning itself around the person you've quietly become. Not because you changed everything, but because you changed one thing consistently. You don't need a new year. You don't need a fresh calendar. You don't need to wait for the right moment. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need perfect motivation. You don't need a flawless routine. What you need is a beginning, a spark, a single moment of courage, something small enough that you can't say no to it, but powerful enough that it changes your entire direction. Because the truth is simple. Your life doesn't change when you make big promises. It changes when you take small actions, the kind you repeat, the kind you can sustain, the kind that slowly, quietly rewrite who you believe you are. You just need 5 minutes, 5 minutes of honesty, 5 minutes of showing up, 5 minutes of choosing the future instead of copying the past, 5 minutes that say, I'm not who I was yesterday. I'm becoming someone new. I'm proving it right now. Identity isn't built in a single breakthrough. It isn't built in one dramatic comeback. It's built in ordinary moments, moments where no one is watching, nothing looks impressive, and the world has no idea what's changing inside you. But you know. And that's enough. Because identity is built in quiet decisions, in tiny shifts, in small victories, in the courage to begin again, even when it feels insignificant. Your next 5 minutes can become your next 5 days. Your next 5 days can become your next 5 months. And before you even realize it, you're living a life you once thought was impossible. You don't need perfection. You just need to start. And your start begins now. If this message touched you, don't let the feeling fade. Use your next 5 minutes wisely. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more powerful motivational videos just like this.